That's what I was
As
getting
long
at.
as I could push it back.
You may not be able to. Kevin Harlan.
Welcome, everyone, to this 2K Sports broadcast of the Pacers live from Indianapolis, Indiana. We've got some terrific NBA action in store for you today. With Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. You take a look at the Heat, you love to get the ball rolling early in the season. That's what they've done.
This is a special matchup. I mean, we got here tonight. Two rival franchises, a lot of history between the two, and some bad blood. So let's just see how all this adds up in terms of drama.
And, guys, I think if you ask them, as far as they're concerned, this game counts twice in the standings. I mean, it carries that kind of weight. It really holds that kind of significance for both of them.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the floor for Miami, the big men are Bosh and Whiteside. Lance Stevenson is out there with Little General. And it's Winslow in at the 3. Here's George. In the game against Detroit, very impressive. And so they foul intentionally.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Yeah, yeah, completely a brain fade. I don't know where that came from. Just lost sense of time and the situation.
So it's the Pacers now. It's a 3-point game. And that's an intentional foul.
Let's see where the Pacers are, Kevin, in terms of the NBA rankings right now. Second in fewest turnovers per game. Fourth in assists. And they are in the top 10 in team points per game.
And you got to love how well they safeguard their offensive possessions. You see the ranking, second fewest turnovers committed, terrific ball handling, and smart passing.
On the court for the Heat, Deng and Bosh, your small and power forwards. Little General out there with Dragic, and it's Whiteside in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And now they decide to foul intentionally. Now let's take a moment to see the teams that lead the league in field goal percentage. The Heat in second.
So patient on the offensive end. I mean, they're not going to force shots, and it's that selectiveness that's yielded such an impressive field goal percentage.
Ellis wide open. The shot is off, and it's Miami the other way. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
And how about the game plan that was constructed for that one? I mean, it was apparent how powerless the D was to stop it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, they just didn't have an answer for anything they threw at them.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the 76ers was points and also had an incredible amount of assists, really setting his teammates up every minute on the court. Absolutely incredible numbers from him in a monstrous game.
All right, Doris, thanks so much for the report. You had to just marvel, guys, at what he was able to do that night, didn't you?
You know what? It was the game of basketball being played at its highest level. No question who their MVP was in that win.
No question whatsoever, Greg. I mean, that's a performance he and his fans will remember for a long, long time.
And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
And he gets the bucket.
All these open threes they're giving up have really been the driving force of this run.
And the points are starting to add up in a hurry, especially when you're giving up those looks from deep.
And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
Ty Lawson, he's checked in for Donald Sloan. Miami's gone 6 of 11 when they've taken the three-point shot tonight. Very respectable. And the basket by Singleton.
He is on. Fire from beyond the arc.
Yeah, it seems like all of his points are coming from deep, Greg.
And the foul called on Freak. The Heat making a switch here. And the first half.
Thank you, Kevin.
Welcome back. And so it's Miami winning this one. This was a very.
Well, Joe, congrats.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thanks, Kevin, and let's take a look now as we give.
His passing was what impressed me the most about his performance. He was all.
And that brings us to the end of our broadcast.
too much for me.
I'm just ready to win.
Losing's not an option.
You want to be on the cover. You want to be the best.
The game just kicked off.
I'm excited to play. I feel the adrenaline going.
postseason.
Defense will be a little too much for them.
I'm just ready to win.
Losing's not an option. You want to be on the cover. You want to be the best.
The game just kicked off.
I'm excited to play. I feel the adrenaline going.
This makes me want to try to compete for $250,000.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Philadelphia 76ers going up against the Miami Heat. For Miami, a strong stretch of play for this team, winning 6 of their last 7. They're playing at a high level, no lack of confidence going into tonight's game. A few moments here before we start the game, let's talk shooting guards. Kenny, some have said the talent at that position is the weakest it's been in some time. Which young shooting guards do you think are poised to fill that void?
Well, James Harden's already there. You know, we're talking about Kobe and D Wade's departure as the top guys, so to speak. Klay Thompson, versatile shooter, defender, two-way player, as you love to call him, Ernie.
You know what you named 2, Kenny? We're going to take it to 5. I'm going to give you 3 more. Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
Tough as nails with a growing offensive
like him.
game. My homeboy down in Orlando, Victor Oladipo.
Ooh, already?
Defense and athleticism, yes, already. And at the last spot, Andrew Wiggins.
A good Friday night to you, sports fans. You've come to the right place. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony with Doris Burke reporting on the sidelines. The Philadelphia 76ers preparing to defend home court in this Eastern Conference battle. The Heat beat them last time when these two teams met down in South Florida.
And with the number of turnovers they had in that game, guys, it was going to be an uphill battle all the way.
Especially when you couple the turnovers with the soft defense they were playing. That's a losing combination.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. And for Miami, looking who they've got out there. The big men are Bosh and Whiteside. Lance Stevenson is out there with Little General. And it's Winslow in at the 3 spot. Philadelphia with the ball, following the miss by Lance Stevenson. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
And that one's good. Noel.
Could be the first of a lot of mid-range jumpers that we see from him.
And another 3 from Singleton. Singleton's got a couple of 3s now in the first for the Heat. And stolen by Singleton. In transition, here comes Miami, and that is good.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
Now, here is Singleton. A 14-point game for him in the win against Indiana.
Great outside shooting fueling this run.
And the D is getting bombarded. They haven't been able to slow them down the least bit.
And it's the 76ers with the ball. They trail by 6. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
Guys, it was like there was a lid on the basket in that game. No matter how many plays you make at the defensive end, hard to overcome such a lack of production offensively.
Well, you know, the high-quality shots were few and far between for them, guys, and they have nobody to blame but themselves for that. You've got to do a better job of working harder to put up points.
Now, here is Singleton. 9 points in the game so far. And again, Miami with the triple.
Great three-point shooting here out of the gate. That makes 4 makes already from long distance.
String music scorching those nets. How long can they keep this up, though?
Another miss by Philadelphia. The Heat leading by 7. From the arc. He's 4 for 6 from the field with that miss. The 76ers have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. Here's Stanley, knocks down the 3 ball. He has 6.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
Here's Singleton. The three-pointer off the mark. 76ers have gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Out to the wing. All sorts of time. No good.
Well, that's a warm-up jumper there. I mean, when you're a pro, you can't make excuses for missing that one.
That's tipped. Stolen by Bosch. Fast break. Here they come for the finish. And finished off by Singleton.
And with that speed, once he took off, the D just had no chance of getting back.
Well, I think they did the right thing. I mean, just give up the 2 points and move forward. Hey, discretion is the better part of valor sometimes. Write that one down, game players. Discretion is the better part of valor.
The three-pointer is right on target. Singleton's got 17 now. And now we'll get a perspective here on the hustle game and how it's been going for the Heat.
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
So the Heat, their last game, a win against the Pacers in Indiana.
And believe it or not, it wasn't the stars that led the charge for them in that win. It was about the role players. I mean, the guys who they don't usually count on for the lion's share of their points came through.
Guys, simply a complete team performance, and road wins where everybody contributes really can galvanize a team and bring it together.
On the court for the Heat, Deng and Bosch, your small and power forwards. Dragic is out there with Little General. And it's Whiteside in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Winslow's checked in for Miami.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that.
Both teams will make substitutions. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. The Heat trail by 3. Here's Singleton. That one falls, coming off the Johnson feed. And that's now 20 points for Freak.
Talk about confidence to pull up from out there. And what skill to knock it down. That's major league there, folks.
Yeah, no doubt about his toes on that one. He was way back.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spot. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
And stolen by Singleton. From deep three-point range, and the Heat, another 3.
Those are starting to add up. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 of them have been three-pointers.
And clearly it's about how poorly the defense has played. They've got to close out faster.
And the Heat, another 3.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
And, Greg, it's hard for me to watch this. I mean, the defense practically giving them those shots.
Offensive rebound Heat. Stoudemire with the bucket.
And, Kevin, they've dialed up their activity this quarter. We're seeing them convert a lot of those second-chance opportunities.
Well, the hustle and the effort, the persistence, all of that paying off in a big way. And that's something that makes a coach smile.
And let's bring up a list of point guards that over the last month have been on fire from three-point land. Freak number 1.
I mean, his first job is to orchestrate for his teammates. But being as fantastic as he is at shooting the 3, he's never reluctant to take that shot if it's available.
And if I'm coaching him, I want him taking that shot. I mean, just look at the percentage. I mean, that earns you the green light for me on every possession.
They set the pick. Noel with it, guarded now by Patrick Patterson, and he gets it to go.
You can't afford to give him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
A chance here to go 2 for 1.
Boy, they've got to ramp up the speed and make it happen in a hurry.
Here's Noel. The shot misses. Stoudemire with the defensive effort. Here's Singleton. Hits it from three-point range. Singleton's got the lead up to 10 now for the Heat.
To be honest, I'm speechless, and that doesn't happen very often. This may be the best shooting performance I've ever seen.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
That's good.
Wow, what a special performance.
Hey guys, listen up. We've got a good lead, but lots of basketball left to play. First of all, our transition offense has been really clicking, and it made a big difference. Let's keep getting those points on the break. At least we're on target from beyond the arc. There was some good long-range shooting for us in that half. And in this half, I want us quick to get out on the break. Let's get headed up the floor as soon as we get our hands on the ball. All right, guys, let's get out there and play a good second half.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. You look at Freak in this game, he has been everywhere.
And the threes, they just drop for him consistently. He was in a zone in that first half.
I'll say, this couldn't have been a more productive day for him from long range so far.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with my esteemed colleagues, Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, we'll see the Miami Heat playing against the Boston Celtics. Looking at Boston, they'll be up for this game, facing the team that defeated them in the conference semis last season. This is one they've been waiting for. And if you've been watching this team play lately, you know who they've been getting the big baskets from? Freak! He's been on a tear. How's he gotten so hot, Shaq?
Well, you know, he's letting the game come to him on the offensive end. He's not forcing the shot, but he's still being aggressive, and he always testing his defender. And he's, you know what, Ernie? He smells that barbecue chicken down there. You can't guard this man one-on-one. Well, lick your fingers. The barbecue chicken is hot and crispy.
You're making me hungry right now, but
crispy barbecue chicken?
Oh, I just can't wait. You make me hungry. Is it lunchtime?
Yeah. Wow.
We got it some time. But, you know, he's not settling for any look either. This guy is very versatile. He'll take you inside, take you outside. He's the kind of player that seems like he's a step ahead, like mentally. Like he has this mental telepathy that goes on and goes. He knows what you're thinking before you think it, before the guy thought it was a thought.
Wow. It's like an extraordinary basketball IQ.
Yes.
Do you have a good high basketball IQ, Shaq?
No, didn't need one, Ernie.
Why?
Because I had the ES.
What's that?
Elbow sandwiches.
Now I'm really hungry.
Elbow sandwiches.
Let's
right
get
in
it
your
down
mouth.
to Kevin Harlan for the call.
At shooting guard, standing 6'5", number 22, left.
Hello, everyone. Get ready for NBA action live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. For the Miami Heat, they won their last contest, that game against the 76ers in Philadelphia.
And really an emphatic win for them, especially considering that it came in an opponent's building, and there's no question it was their offense that carried them.
I love the way they went and got this game, Greg. I mean, they attacked at every opportunity, never relaxed or sat back, and as a result, they eventually pulled away.
We've got a chance here to set the floor. And he commits the intentional foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
It's the end. And Celtics head coach Brad Stevens lured away from a very... I wonder if Coach Brad Stevens feels like he's recruiting another college class with all those draft picks Boston has stockpiled.
Well, I don't know how he would address that question, but I do know he's feeling real good about his decision. I mean, taking the Celtics to the playoffs in just his second season, I mean, I think he's one of the bright coaching stars in the NBA today. It was the NBA's gain and college basketball's loss when he moved on to the Celtics.
Well said. And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Heat?
The roof is up right now, guys. It's raining in here. A lot of threes through the first.
Hey, sometimes when it rains, it pours, and they have not let up from beyond the arc.
On the floor for Boston, Thomas is the point with Bradley to his side. Then it's Zeller, and it's Lowe in at the 3 slot.
The last few weeks, you see how Boston stacks up. First in rebounding, 5th in three-point shooting. And they're in the top 10 in opponent field goal percentage. That's pretty good company. It points out the fact that they do prioritize the defensive end.
And also, I love their work on the boards. I mean, they put multiple bodies in the paint. Truly a team effort.
And the first half...
Well, Goran...
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for... And so the big win by Miami in a tight game. That was a fun...
Well, Goran,
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hi again, everybody. This is Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille Goran Dragic. He notched his season high and his scoring. And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoy.
On today's season finale episode of NBA 2K TV, we have the second annual Hey Guys Awards with some amazing prizes for you.
Oh, word? That's what's up.
Plus a sneak peek at what's to come in 2K17.
You know, the other thing that we
next year is
Tune in now. On today's season finale episode of NBA 2K TV, we have the second annual Hey Guys Awards with some amazing prizes for you.
Oh, word? That's what's up.
Plus a sneak peek at what's to come in 2K17.
You know, the other thing that we get to do next year is
Tune in now. On today's season finale episode of NBA 2K TV, we have the second annual Hey Guys Awards with some amazing prizes for you.
Oh, word? That's what's up.
Plus a sneak peek at what's to come in 2K17.
you know, the other thing that we get to do next year is
The 2K Sports pregame show.
I'm Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. This NBA season rocking right along, and we're loving every minute of it. Our featured matchup tonight out in Toronto, where the Raptors will be going up against the Miami Heat. Looking at Miami, it's been a very successful first half of the season for them. When the opportunity to win a ball game has been there for them, they have grabbed it over and over. And guys, this team getting some big help in the form of Freak. He has stepped up and been a big contributor over this recent stretch of games. Shaq, what's been the change for him?
You know, he's playing under control, Ernie. He's not trying to do too much with each possession. You know, he's also being more aggressive, taking the initiative. You know, he's just going at people, the barbecue chicken theory, Ernie. Get out of my way, I'm going to eat you.
Yeah, I mean, Freak might be one of my favorite players coming up, Ernie. I mean, his teammates are trusting him more, giving him opportunities, trusting that the fact that he could score, and their success as a unit is also increased because of their trust in him.
You know who Freak reminds me of?
Who's that?
Me.
Oh, yeah.
And that wraps it up here. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next time.
We're in the place they call the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, Ontario, the home of the Raptors, where we're broadcasting live. Happy holidays, everyone, from all of us at 2K Sports. And do we have a present for you today? This is Kevin Harlan. Joining me, Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and courtside Doris Burke. This game will wrap up the homestand here for the Raptors. They just haven't been able to buy a break lately. 5 of their last 6 games have been losses.
And when I look at Toronto, what a lackluster start to the season it's been for them. Where are the championship contenders that we've grown accustomed to seeing?
Contenders, these guys don't even look like a playoff team right now.
All right, let's set the floor courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court for the Heat, the big men are Bosch and White. A new group in now for the Raptors. Henson's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Damari Carroll comes in for Ross. Corey Joseph's checked in for Harris. And Mo Williams subbed in for Kyle Lowry. And a new group getting ready for Miami. Josh McRoberts is checked in for Whiteside. Johnson comes in for Chris Bosh. Winslow's checked in for Luol Deng. And it's Singleton in for Lance Stevenson.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Pass to Ilyasova. Goes up on the wing. The basket is good off the assist from Williams.
Just a major size difference between the defender and shooter on that possession.
And Greg, without a hand in his face, he's simply going to spray whoever's there.
And that concludes a back-and-forth, high-scoring first quarter of play. Raptors back to the action when we return. The question is whether or not that team unity, as rare as it is making a difference for the Raptors. Does it make Kyle Lowry any better? Do they just give it more time?
You know, you could argue it both ways, Kevin, because it's worked both ways. I mean, teams that couldn't stand one another have won rings, and so have tight-knit groups who were really close. So there's really no magic formula. I think there's a little bit of art to go with the science in that.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And what do you guys think about the Raptors here in this one?
They came out with the purpose of playing for one another, making the extra pass throughout that first quarter.
Guys, that is simply just good basketball. I mean, really good basketball. Total. Well, luckily, they've got some really solid backups. You hate to see a player deep.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far. And so the big win by Toronto in a tight game. What a show they put on here at home tonight.
Tremendous work all the way down to the wire. You were just wondering what would happen next. Major drama, and we saw a good one.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke.
Thank you, Kevin. Kyle, you were able to impact this game on both sides of the ball, making some nice passes, playing good defense. How did you feel about your game?
I just want to stop the basket. I want to do anything it takes to win, help my team win. Tonight, was passing the ball. My shot wasn't falling, but, I had too many turnovers, but I passed the ball well, and we got the win. That's all that matters.
Kyle, thank you. Kevin, it's not only about the offense.
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now.
The 2K Sports Post-Game Show.
Thanks, Kevin, and let's take a look now as he put up a new season high tonight. And if he keeps shooting like he did tonight before the season's over, he might top it. A big key to his team's victory. And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the
On today's season finale episode of NBA 2K TV, we have the second annual Hey Guys Awards with some amazing prizes for you.
Oh, word? That's what's up.
Plus a sneak peek at what's to come in 2K17.
The other thing that we get to do next year is
Tune in now. On today's season finale episode of NBA 2K TV, we have the second annual Hey Guys Awards with some amazing prizes for you.
Oh, word? That's what's up.
Plus a sneak peek at what's to come in 2K17.
the other thing that we get to do next year is
Tune in now. On today's season finale episode of NBA 2K TV, we have the second annual Hey Guys Awards with some amazing prizes for you.
Oh, word? That's what's up.
Plus a sneak peek at what's to come in 2K17.
the other thing that we get to do next year is
Tune in now.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Our game tonight featuring the New York Knicks as they go up against the Heat in Miami. For the Heat, over the first half of the season, we've gotten a good sense of what this team is capable of. When they're on, which they have been consistently, they are an excellent unit. And as we come up to the midway point of the season, Kenny, we're seeing some of the veterans who started slower now picking up the pace.
Well, I think early on, a lot of times, if you've been in the playoff for some veterans, the early going in the season is a little mundane. But then as you start seeing the light at the tunnel, they don't pace themselves anymore. And you want to make sure that you're in playoff position to make something special happen at the end of the year.
Excellent use of the word mundane, by the way. How about you, Shaq?
Well, Monday, experience told me when you need to go hard and when you need to pull back. You know, the best veterans will be there when it matters the most.
That's mundane, not
okay.
not
I thought he said Monday.
Like mundane, Tuesday, Wednesday,
okay.
Thursday.
Got it. My bad.
Two different.
A flyover all the bright lights and flavor that Miami has to offer. Everyone is in their seat and buckled in at the American Airlines Arena as the Heat look to grab a win here in Miami. The New York Knicks come into this one following a loss, guys, to Orlando in Florida. And that does your confidence guys no favor. They got manhandled in that one. It wasn't pretty.
And I really felt in watching that game that they needed to abandon the three-point shot. It wasn't there. The percentage was horrific, but yet they continued to try and knock them down.
And I really think that's what did them in. I mean, sometimes it's just not there for you on the perimeter, and you can't try to shoot yourself out of a bad shooting night from outside.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. And New York, looking at who they've got. They've got Porzingis, Mayo out there with a Flalo. Then there's Kyle O'Quinn, and it's Anthony in at the 3. And a fast break now for New York. That's good.
No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a one-footer. Come on now.
Here's Singleton. Nice shot from the wing.
Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Miami on defense, outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to the Raptors.
And you guys know how much I love aggressive defense, but in that game, they were just a bit over the top, and it wound up getting them in foul trouble.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was not just aggressive, it was...
And here is Singleton. And New York, looking at who they've got. Anthony out there with Derek Williams. Then there's Aflalo. Then there's Tony Snell. And it's Smith in at the 5 down low. And we have an intentional foul. And we're starting the second quarter, about a minute gone. Singleton inside. He's guarded by Aflalo. And finished off by Singleton.
And sometimes when you want something done, you got to do it yourself. That dunks the shot in the arm they need to really cut into that lead.
Well, Greg, it certainly got everybody on their bench up and off their seats and cheering.
Yeah, that could be an instant momentum shift. That certainly was a rim wrecker.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that.
And that concludes.
Kevin, up.
And now the third quarter about to get going. So a close game sees New York.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's quickly move forward now to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Carmelo Anthony. He found his rhythm in the second half, and there was no stopping him then. He was locked down. And, folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie